Sometimes the people we can't stop thinking about are people that we barely know, right? Maybe you've known them for 10 days, a week, maybe a month. Yet somehow you end up feeling like you there's something special about them, right? Maybe they end up messaging you and a small notification from them makes you feel that yes, I need to check it right now. Or that if they have not messaged, then you'll end up thinking that why is it that they have not messaged. Or maybe your entire day ends up going into thinking that what are they doing, have they messaged me, what might they be doing right now, are they busy, what if they like this, what if they felt bad that I said this and that, etc. Right now sometimes this can mean that they like you, and that's the reason your brain is obsessed with not messing things up and then wanting things to be perfect. And it because the connection is new, and that's why it does not want to make a mess out of it. But sometimes what happens is that the brain is not really attached, the brain is not really attached to the person, or that you don't really like the person, but maybe the brain is just attached to the uncertainty that the person brings. Now a small experiment or a small example with which I can explain that type of uncertainty to you is, imagine if I give you a 500 rupee note right now without any context. I just hand it over to you. Now imagine scenario number being placed in front of you, and then I'll tell you that every time you press a button, you may end up getting a 500 rupee note, or you may not end up getting a 500 rupee note. Right, for you then it's like, okay, I'll just press it, and maybe you press it once, you'll get a 500 rupee note in the first trial. But you press the button, but maybe even after 20 clicks you don't get the 500 rupee note, and maybe on the 21st click or press you end up getting the 500 rupee note. Which experience will you then end up coming back to? Right now, according to psychology, you will end up pressing and choosing the second scenario. The reason is very simple, because the reward is uncertain, right? And because the brain loves uncertainty, and it loves puzzles, and it loves to solve something. Now that is the reason, that's one of the reasons why slot machines can be so addictive, right? Because the person who is behind the lever, who is going to pull or who's going to press the button, does not know when they'll get the reward. So they will just keep pressing and hoping that next time will be the one when they'll end up acting, or next time is the one that they will end up getting the reward, or I'll hit the jackpot next time. I'm not comparing the liking or the connection with the slot machine, obviously, but they can involve same or similar psychological processes as well. Right, because when attention, affection, or even care is given inconsistently, brain will then end up paying more attention to the reward that is more inconsistent, rather than one that is consistent and one that the brain does not have to pay a lot of attention to. There are two people who you end up in this example. Person one texts you every day, there when you need them, or will be attentive to your feedbacks as well. They'll be very reciprocal. The relationship and the connection really reciprocal, right? Now imagine another scenario, an example wherein the person gives you attention sporadically, or when they feel is feasible. The person ends up texting you once a day, or maybe ends up texting you 3 weeks after 3 weeks. It's, you cannot say. A lot of people do end up getting hooked to the second type of person, because here just the reason, because they cannot explain their behavior. The brain will then end up being obsessed with finding an answer as to why is it that they are not replying, why is it that I can't solve this mystery of a person, oh they are so mysterious, etc. In psychology, this effect is called the Zeigarnik effect. Right, basically our brain's tendency to remember unfinished tasks or incomplete tasks better than finished or completed tasks. Right, now everyday examples of these include you being obsessed with a cliffhanger of your favorite show, or you not finding an answer, someone messaging you, hey listen, I need to tell you something, but I'll tell you that tomorrow. Now till the tomorrow comes, you are already thinking about, and or you've already thought about what the thing that they need to talk about will be, right? Your brain already come up with a lot of explanations of its own, because it does not, because it has not found any logical answer to the question that it was searching for. Now, here's a question that I would like to ask you. When you're thinking about the person that you're saying that you can't stop thinking about, ask yourself this question the next time that you're thinking about them. What is it about them that you're thinking about? Are you thinking about them, the way they are, the personality traits that they have, the way they show up in the dynamic or in the connection, their values, the way they treat people, etc.? Or do you like the way that they end up treating you? Or do you like the excitement that follows with them? The excitement that surrounds them, or the attention that they end up giving you, or the way you end up feeling when they message you, right? Because these are two different things. If it's scenario number one, then maybe you really like the person, right? Because you are really falling for the person for who they are, and you are accepting them as they might be accepting you for who they are. In scenario number two, there's a possibility that you are liking the validation or the attention that you're getting from them, or your brain is obsessed with solving the mystery that they are bringing along, right? Because they are coming with uncertainty here, and your brain wants certainty, right? Feelings involved in both the scenarios are real, but they are not the same as truly knowing them. Imagine a scenario wherein the person that you can't stop thinking about, so if tomorrow they end up giving you attention and affection in consistent, clear, consistent ways, and if they are very intentional in the way that they are showing up in the connection, then if you ask yourself, would you end up choosing them this much? Now maybe the answer is yes, but if there is somewhere some sort of hesitation in your answer, and maybe the answer is a bit tending towards no, maybe the hesitation then might end up telling you something. Times what we are not addicted to the person, we are rather addicted to the answer that we have been chasing, the answer behind the question of where are they now, would they choose me, how would our life look like some years down the line or some week down the line, do they actually love me, do they see me the way that I see them, will they choose me in the way that I choose them? Your brain then starts treating the relationship like an unsolved puzzle, an unsolved mystery. Every crumb of attention then ends up feeling, yes, I am going somewhere finally. This relationship is not just stopped at a full stop or at a period. Maybe it was just at a comma or at a pause. But now it is slowly but slowly gaining its momentum, and we'll reach finally where I think the relationship is going to reach. Now, if you grew up in an environment in your childhood where love, care, affection was unpredictable and inconsistent, then obviously as an adult, you will be very sensitive to uncertainty in your adult relationships as well. Now, even for a secure person, or a person who's had the best childhood in life with security and stability, or make them keep stuck in this type of spiral or a cycle, because that is how our brain responds to uncertainty. Sometimes what keeps us emotionally hooked to the person isn't just the person, but it's the uncertainty that surrounds them. If you can't stop thinking about someone, or if you're constantly spending your days and your time, your precious time, thinking about them, then you cannot naturally assume that they are the one. Sure, in the future they can be the one. No one is to say for sure, but just saying for surely with surety that just because you can't stop thinking about them, that equals to they are the one. Now that's a wrong assumption to have. Your feelings are definitely real, and the intensity with which you are feeling and experiencing the connection is as well. So the next time, stop asking yourself, why can't I stop thinking about them? And ask yourself, am I thinking about the person, or am I trying to solve an unanswered question?